So we appear to be live right now on the river. You adding wood to it? You adding wood?
Yeah. Burns up pretty quick because it's dry. But
There's nobody viewing yet.
yeah, you want to show them our setup?
Looks like we got 6 people on.
Yeah.
I don't know how I view the chats. Let me see. Maybe they just pop up. If you guys who are watching, if you just want to comment or something to see if I'm doing this right. Yes, I see you, Lewis K. Thank you so much. I've never done this before, so this is a learning experience for me. Can you hear me okay? Crystal here. Hey, what's up, Crystal? We're out here on the river. We just spent the day out here paddling. Got the fire going. Okay, cool. You can hear me okay. Cool. Thank you, guys. Well, welcome. It's end of a day here paddling on the river, on the Choctawhatchee River in southern Alabama. And we just set up camp, set up our tent. What river? Yeah, I just said it. I guess it's delayed. Choctawhatchee or Choctawhatchee? Is it Choctawhatchee?
I don't know.
We're not certain, apparently. We just have been paddling down it the whole day, but we have no idea what it's called for sure. But it runs through southern Alabama. If you get on the map and you can look, it's west of the city of Dothan, east of the city of Enterprise, Alabama, and southeast Alabama. We've been paddling all day though, and we are beat, and we're nomming on some MREs over here, if you can see. That's cool. Well, welcome, Pamela, and this is a learning experience for both of us, apparently. Are you guys okay? If you hear banjos break, yes, very much so. And in fact, I almost brought my ukulele. I have a ukulele, and I'm learning to play it. I play guitar, but I did not bring my ukulele because it's a little bit too nice of a ukulele to bring out here. But I was just telling my wife, it'd be really cool to have like a cheaper ukulele where I could just bring it on the river with me and bring it on adventures and stuff, and be able to play it out here on the campsite. But yes, if I hear banjos out here, I will get back in the boat and flee this scene immediately. So Noah's back there splitting some firewood. Maybe he's gonna maybe split his finger on YouTube live. But what if you guys don't mind me asking, if you're okay with answering, what state are you guys in? What country are you in? Where are you tuning in from, if you don't mind me asking? I know it's delayed, so I'm gonna wait for some answers. GA, okay, cool. Well, we're next door neighbors, I guess, apparently. Maybe what? Okay, Texas. Oh, cool. Welcome, Betty. Texas and another Texas. Very cool. Let me take you out here to the river. Show you what it looks like. I hope you all carry a first aid kit. No, we don't have a first aid kit, actually. I have a sewing kit, of all things, in my knife, but... Oh, I just missed that. Did you all something... I'm sorry, I missed your comment. Somebody just commented something, a question. But I missed it. If you want to resend it, I can answer it. But here's what the river looks like. It's beautiful out here. And this is actually kind of a different part of the river. Where we started this morning, it was a lot of rocky bluffs on either side of the river. And we've been coming downstream, and now it's kind of flattened out quite a bit. The topography's changed significantly now. There's a bunch of sandbars and stuff. Cleveland, Ohio, welcome. Shireen, Shireen, am I saying that right? Welcome. And slow. Something's slow. Is it my connection is slow? By chance? Yes, my connection is slow. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Well, it's a very first world problem, I guess, right? To be out here in the wilderness with slow internet connection. So anyways, I wanted to try this YouTube thing out, this live thing. The river is slow. That is the Chattahoochee River. No, the Chattahoochee, it borders Georgia and Alabama. We are west of that. We are about an hour west of the Chattahoochee, and I think it's called the Choctawhatchee, if I'm not mistaken. The Chattahoochee is further east of here, though. But I have been on the Chattahoochee River, and that's a beautiful river as well. It's much, much bigger than this one when it comes down to our area. But some of you may know Noah from previous videos that we've done in the past, and he is one of my sons and often frequents our videos that we put out. And Noah's been on a lot of adventures with us, various places, and we actually just returned from a week-long trip up in the Appalachians. We camped. Noah and I hiked 10 miles on the Appalachian Trail, and then we camped on the side of a road, a dirt road out there, and we spent a week camping out there, give or take.
I also made a video.
What?
Of this knife too.
Yeah, we made a video of this knife, which is still in operation, still in use, even though we put it through a torture test. But yeah, the mountains were beautiful and serene, and we had to return back to civilization and regroup and shower, and now we're back on another adventure here out in the sticks. So anyways, there's really no point to this video other than I just wanted to try out YouTube Live, and maybe I can show you guys what we're eating for dinner here, if that's not going to bore you too much. So we have, what do we have?
We have some frankfurters.
Frankfurters, beef frankfurters in this MRE package, and I actually I actually found all these MREs in the trash. My next door neighbor was moving out, and Noah's like, oh, I didn't know that. My next door neighbor was moving out, and I looked on the side of the road, and there was a MRE box, an entire case full of MREs that was unopened, and they weren't sitting out there like for weeks and weeks. They were just out there for less than 24 hours, and I went over and grabbed these MREs, and I was like, shoot, these things are really valuable. So we have a bunch of MREs, and I don't normally eat MREs.
They're good for like trips and stuff.
Yeah, they're good for trips and stuff, but to be honest with you, I'm probably gonna heat up some soup over the fire. We also have some of these right here. These are amazing, and we're gonna make some popcorn for dessert. But yeah, overall we're just kind of spent, and we're worn out. So we got sunburned out here because I didn't think about packing sunscreen of all things, and so the sun will really zap you of your energy. And in the morning we're gonna wake up, pack up the camp, and clean up, and then kind of meander our way back upstream. And my wife is gonna pick us up. She's such a loving wife. She may be watching right now. Jiffy Pop, awesome, great camping treat. Yes, it is. Thank you, Donna. I agree. It makes, I don't know, it's very nostalgic for me because we used those a lot when I was a kid, and nice, have fun. I love camping. Good. I love it too. Yeah, it's just kind of nostalgic for me because we did a lot of Jiffy Pop and stuff when I was a kid, and it's just really fun. But you have to be, you know, it's like you have to be actively engaged in it. You can't just let it sit, or else they'll burn to the bottom. So you know, you got to keep that thing stirred at all times. But we found some driftwood here on the beach, on the sandbar, and made ourselves a little fire. But all right, guys. Well, do you have any questions? I mean, like I said, I don't really have a point for making this video or chiming. I just was curious to try YouTube Live. Cool. My son also like to do some live stuff with his son. Not sure if it's YouTube. Congratulations. Keep up the fun work. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, YouTube is kind of a part-time job for me, which is kind of funny because I just kind of happened into it. I never really saw myself doing that as an income source, and I've got a number of videos that are actually, you know, helping me pay the bills, which is really crazy. We had yes, that's cool. Well, I'm glad we had a similar memory there. That's really cool. Have a great time. We will, Betty. Thank you. Thank you. We've had a great time so far. You know, we wanted to take a couple days just to be out in the river before the school year starts back, and you know, all that craziness begins. So we're just out here relaxing and doing a little bit of bonding, right? But I forget where I was going with that. You guys have any questions though? I love camping, and the river looks nice, and the green trees. Yes, the trees are green, and the river is nice. What's really interesting about the river, actually, let me see if I can do this. This would be really cool. Now, this is either gonna go really, really well or really bad. So watch this. You can see the next sandbar over. Great video resolution for being in the middle of nowhere. Yes, a good dad. Where is that? I'm on the Choctawhatchee River. Choctawhatchee? So the river is really shallow, and I could walk all the way across because we haven't had a whole lot of rain. But you can see the next sandbar over. Bonding is so important. Yes, it is. It is. And it keeps the inner kid in me alive as well. But you can see the next sandbar over there. It's just a series of really big sandbars right here. And we picked one, and we're like, okay, this is where we're gonna set up camp. So, but yeah, hiking the Appalachian Mountains is a great way of bonding. Wish my boy's dad was interested in hiking and camping. Where are you from? That's a really, well, I'm sorry, I think, you know, I think hiking and all that stuff, it's kind of like an acquired taste. And my parents made me do it when I was younger, and I grew to kind of just fall in love with it because that was just what we did, and they made it fun. And, you know, just getting away from TV, getting away from electronics and stuff as a kid, as a teenager. And I remember we just spent a lot of time together, and that's one of the greatest things that you could ever give your family is just their time, their presence, you know, your presence as a parent. They don't need things. They don't really want all that stuff. They really just, more than anything else, they just want you and your time. And so that's what I try to give back to my kids as well. But somebody asked me where I'm from. I'm originally from Florida. Howdy. I'm originally from Florida. I've lived all over Florida. And now we live in Alabama. And we love it here. It's a lot different than Florida, especially if you lived in Central to South Florida, it's a lot different. But in my perspective, it's different in a good way. It's more my pace. So, hope that answers your question. Alabama. Someone commented earlier if you hear banjos start running. So there's all kinds of. So let the Alabamian stereotypes begin. Just got back from St. Pete. Is there houses there by the river? No, there is no houses here by the river. There's actually no other human beings. It's just really cool because you can like get really quiet and you can't hear anything. Well, I take it back. You can hear music, but it's not banjo music. It's like, I think what it is there's a bar about 2 miles from here, and somehow they're playing music loud enough where I can barely hear the bass line of the songs. But I'm thinking that bar is going to shut down. I did. I love bluegrass. That's cool. Yeah, I think that bar is going to shut down, and we're not going to. There's no houses whatsoever, and there isn't really for several miles. We haven't seen any houses on the river so far. We've just gone under bridges, and we've been on the river since 10 o'clock this morning, and we haven't seen any houses. We've seen people, you know, just playing on the beaches and stuff like that at different beer beaches, as we call them, and having a good time and stuff, but we haven't seen any houses really. But in Florida, if you pick a river like this and you try to go down a river like this in Florida, yeah, there's going to be just tons of houses, you know, because it's Florida. 1,000 people move there every day. But I used to do a lot of kayaking, camping stuff in Florida, and that would be nice to have a house by that river. Yes, it would, except this river is renowned for flooding, and it actually goes through a series of towns, one of them at carrying water or filter or boiling it. We're doing both. Let me answer that question here in a second, but this river actually flows through a town called Geneva, Alabama, which is about 10 more miles south of us right now. And this river floods as it joins up with another river called the P River. Yes, we did bring marshmallows. It floods and it floods the town of Geneva every few years, and so it's kind of a big mess. They actually built levees around the whole city. It's a really big mess. So the river is pretty, and that's the thing about living next to a river. It's really pretty. You know, it gives you recreation. You know, it can boost your economy. Whole economies can be built along the side of a river. You know, and but it's also dangerous at the same time because it's like a risk. But I saw another question. If you want to repeat that. Oh, are we carrying water or do we have filters? So we have both. We have water. What I did is I put these like jugs of water in our deep freezer overnight. So we actually have like frozen water, and it's now completely thawed out, but it's really cold. So yeah, we just took like milk jug or these kind of things, whatever these are called, orange juice jugs, froze them overnight. So now it's just like cool water at the end of the day. And we have 4 of those, but we also have, where are those straws, Noah? The only thing I miss about Florida is it's cutting off your comment. Black Pack Homestead, Chris. We also have these life straws, and these are great. You know, they take quite a bit of suction power to actually get the water to flow through them.
Yeah.
But I've used these, this very straw, I've actually used to drink from the Nile River in Africa. So these are great. And if any water was gonna kill me, it was that water, and it didn't. So I didn't even get sick. I didn't have any adverse symptoms or anything like that. So we have these, we're just drinking out of the river with these, and then cooking and doing other things with our bottled water. Lots of gators in Florida. Yeah, there is actually. And it's funny you say that because I was just telling Noah the story about one time I went down the Peace River in Florida, and I spent a whole week on the Peace River. And it was a buddy of mine from college, and we spent a whole week out there on the Peace River. And in that week, we counted gobs, I think it was in the 50s, of alligators. And it was during that, it was only like 4 or 5 days, I think. But during that trip, I saw the largest alligator I've ever seen in the wild on this little tiny river. And that alligator must have been 12 to 13 feet long. And as we approached and we went around this bend in our kayaks, that alligator slid down off the sandbar and into the water. And it went under our kayaks. And it was a really small river. It wasn't like this one. It was maybe half the size of this one. But that gator slid down under our kayaks, and I could feel it displacing the water up under our boats and lifting our boats up a little bit. It was massive. And we were just completely silent. We didn't say anything. We were just horrified.
Oh yeah. Tell them about the
Manatee?
No, the
Oh.
Okay, here I'll tell them. So we're riding up. So these are trees. The river's right here, and so we're riding up on the side of the
On the bank.
The bank, just get some like shade because the sun is setting down a little because it's real hot out. And as my dad's saying, don't get too close because there's snakes up there, and sometimes sometimes there's like snakes hiding up in there, and then they'll you bump it, and then the snakes will fall in. And then he told me that don't bump into them because there's also sometimes wasp nests. And as he says that, we come upon a wasp nest like this big, big as my head.
That's crazy.
So it was.
Yeah, that just happened today. Let me see if I can. I see all your comments, but oh, here we go. Here I can actually scroll back and see them. Cool. Lewis says, with a slow-moving river, how many miles are you making a day? And do you travel miles or by hours? And how soon before dusk do you make camp? So that's a really good question. It is a really slow-moving river in most parts. So what I do is I go bridge to bridge. Basically, those are my reference points. I know what bridge is coming next. Like we just went under, the last bridge we went under was, I forget the name of it. But we're going bridge by bridge by bridge. And so I know approximately how far apart those bridges are based on Google Maps or whatever. So river miles are really hard to determine because they're not straight miles. So traveling down a river is a really hard thing to gauge how far you can go. So like we actually thought we were gonna get twice as far today than we actually got. And we had to actually stop and call it a day. And there's a lot of factors that go into that. The river was slow moving. We beached a lot, and it's so shallow, so we beached and bottomed out a lot. So we just decided to cut our losses and just call it a day here. And it's not a big deal. We're not in a rush or anything like that. but I usually give myself 1 full hour before sundown. And I do this cool trick where you take your fingers and you put them up like this to the bottom of the sun, and you can see, okay, each finger is 15 minutes before it hits the horizon. So I've got 15, I've got 30, 45, and 1 hour, right? Did I do that right? Yeah. So a full hand like this is 1 hour, and then you got about, so I've got about an hour and a half till sundown. So I actually stopped early today, and we set up camp early, but at minimum, I give myself 1 full hour to set up camp, because I just want to get aware, I want to be aware of my surroundings and make sure I'm not trespassing, or I want to gather firewood, I want to set up camp, I want to make dinner, I want to do all that in daylight, because when the sun goes down, I conk out. I cannot stay up, especially after being on the water all day. Now I saw another question. Let me see if I can find it.
Question is, how close to your face do you do it?
How close to my face?
Yeah.
Do I do what?
To measure, because it can depend on how close.
Oh, at arm's length, like that.
Okay.
At arm's length, yeah.
That makes
And it's
sense.
not exact, but it's close enough. Have you seen any deer or other animals on the adventure? No, we haven't. Trying to think. We saw a massive wasp nest. Actually, a couple of them, 2 or 3 of them, probably the size of like a volleyball, if I had to guess, right in the trees right above us. But that's about it.
And then we saw raccoon prints.
We did see raccoon
bird
prints.
Just,
Yeah.
we
There
had
aren't a
birds
lot
and
of alligators up here, if any, because, well, there's a lot of rednecks that kill them probably. But it's a little bit too cold up here for alligators. It's not their ideal habitat, so I haven't seen a lot of gators. I haven't seen any gators today, but I know that there probably are some further down the river somewhere, but I don't know. Did I answer all the questions? These gnats are driving. Are you fishing, trolling as you paddle? No, we're not. With fishing, I have a love-hate relationship with fishing, because I'm very impatient, and I'm a cast netter myself. I like to fish with using a cast net, and it's kind of like a cheat way, but it's active, it's engaging. Fishing with a pole is just really boring to me. But however, I do have fishing line, and I do have some bait, and I might tie it out on one of these sticks out here, like that one over there. We'll see, and just leave it out there for a couple hours and see what I find. But I can't get into fishing really, because I'm just impatient. But more power to you if that's your thing. I had one larger than basketball black wasp. Ugh, yeah, I hate wasps. I hate them so much, with like a burning passion of every fiber of my soul. So, well, I think we're gonna wrap up this video, and I'm gonna go heat up some soup. I've got some Campbell's something soup, and I'm hungry and thirsty. So, thanks guys for tuning in. And any last questions that you might have before I shut this broadcast down? I know it's delayed, so I'm gonna wait a second.
Before you end the video, you could tell them your YouTube channel, and they could see the.
Okay, is your wife joining you? No. No, she is a lovely wife, and I love her very much. But this is not her cup of tea. And, but she is a wonderful person, and I'm very, very thankful that I have her in my life. But what? She'd be totally stressed. She would. She would be thinking of every possible danger, every scenario that could go wrong. It would be going through her mind right now, and she would be analyzing it. Have fun, be safe. Thank you so much. We will do that. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna sign off for now, and then we're creating a YouTube video about this adventure. Just some little clips and stuff here and there about some of the scenery we've seen, some of the springs we've come across, and rope swings and things like that. So it's just gonna be a short little video. I'll say a prayer for you. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Lewis. Thank you for chiming in and asking some good questions, and we'll see you guys around. Thanks for subscribing to the channel and being part of, well, they know about my YouTube channel because they're watching it right now, theoretically, right? Well, if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, then you're welcome to do that, but that's what everyone says, at least. It's been nice. Thank you, Donna. I appreciate it. Thank you all for the positive comments and feedback, and keep it real, and we'll see you guys on our next little adventure here. Let me see if I can figure out how to turn this thing off.